The Salvatore archives are not just a stack of old journals in the mansion's attic. They are a tomb of secrets, bound in leather stained with unknown fluids, locked in iron boxes, warded with Bonnie Bennett's grandmother's magic, and hidden behind walls where the wood still bears the scratch marks of something that tried to get out. You thought Stefan's diary told you everything about his guilt, or Damon's letters to Katherine revealed his rage. But those are the pretty secrets, the ones meant to be found. The real truths are in the forgotten entries, the cryptic notes, the pages that were torn out and hidden in the floorboards, pages that tell a story darker than any vampire feed, more twisted than any doppelgänger curse. Take Stefan's encrypted journal, for example, the one he kept in 1860 before Katherine arrived. Its pages filled with code that even Elena couldn't crack. We found the key last year, tucked inside the spine of Giovanni Salvatore's original 1692 journal, a small brass key etched with the same snake and cross sigil from the attic chest. The first decoded entry is dated October 17, 1860. "Father took me to the basement last night," it reads. "There's a door I never saw before. Behind it, a stone basin. He cut my palm and let the blood drip in. The family feeds it," he said, "or it feeds on the town." I asked what it is. He just said, "The thing the stone keeps asleep." I had a dream after. A woman with Clara's face stood over me. She said, "You'll be next. This isn't the Stefan you know, the one who fought to be good. This is a boy, scared of his own bloodline, scared of a thing his family kept hidden. The show never told you about the basement door, or the stone basin, or the woman with Clara's face. But the journal has more entries, each more chilling. Father says the basin needs blood every moon. If we miss, the wolves come closer to town. Damon found the door last week." He laughed. He said, "Feeding it is stupid." Then there's Michael Salvatore's handwritten note found in a cracked glass vial, the kind which is used to store spell components in the mansion's attic. Michael, Clara's father, the one who made the deal with the travelers, wrote it in 1820, his handwriting shaky, as if he was crying. "The travelers lied," it says. "The deal wasn't just for protection. The stone doesn't keep the town safe. It keeps them here. The ones who came before the vampires. The ones who walk in the woods when the moon is black." Clara knew. She tried to tell the Fells. I had to stop her. I didn't want to. But the note says, the family must choose. I chose the family. Now, her voice is in the walls. She whispers my name at night. The show told you Michael sacrificed Clara for the family. It didn't tell you he had to, because the travelers threatened to let the ones who walk in the woods loose on Mystic Falls. It didn't tell you Clara's voice still haunts the mansion, or that Michael later killed himself. His body found in the same basement where the stone basin sits. The archives also hold a map hand drawn by Marco Salvatore in 1750. The edges burned, the ink faded, but legible. It marks tunnels under Mystic Falls, tunnels that run from the Salvatore mansion to the Gilbert Cave, to the Lockwood Cellar, to a spot under the town square where the Celtic stone is buried. There's a note scrawled in the margin. The tunnels connect us, all the founding families. We each have a key. We each have a secret. The Gilberts hide the doppelgänger records. The Lockwoods hide the wolf moon logs. The Fells hide the witch hunter lists. We hide the basin. We hide the basin, your lie, for the town or for ourselves. This map changes everything. The founding families weren't just allies. They were co-conspirators. They knew about the Salvatore's thing in the basement. They knew about the traveler's deal. They knew about the blood moon rituals that the show never mentioned. Rituals where each family gave something to keep the darkness at bay. The Fells gave herbs. The Gilberts gave maps. The Lockwoods gave wolf's blood. The Salvatores gave their own. Which brings us to the question, what secrets were too dangerous to be publicly known? Not the vampire hunts, or the doppelgänger love triangles, or even the original vampires. Those were distractions. The real dangerous secrets are the ones that would make Mystic Falls turn on its own founding families. The secret that the Salvatore's protection of the town was really a prison, keeping something ancient and hungry locked under the square. The secret that the blood moon rituals required more than just family blood. That once, in 1890, Jonathan Salvatore, the hero who hunted vampires, had to sacrifice a human to the basin, a young girl from the Fell family, because the Salvatore blood wasn't enough. The secret that Bonnie's grandmother knew all of this, that she helped the Salvatores ward the basement door in 1910, that she never told Bonnie because some truths break people. The archives have more. A torn page from Elena Salvatore's 1780 vision journal mentioning a fire that will burn the tunnels, and a Bennett witch who will choose between saving the town or saving the Salvatores. A letter from Giuseppe Salvatore to the McHalesons dated 1863, asking for help with the thing in the basement. A photograph faded, black and white, of the Salvatore family in 1900, standing in front of the mansion. In the background, you can see a figure in the window, a woman with Clara's face. These aren't just stories. They're proof that the Salvatore history you saw on the show was just the surface. Proof that Mystic Falls wasn't just a town with vampires. It was a town built on lies. Lies the founding families told to survive. Lies the Salvatores told to protect their bloodline. Lies that are still buried in the archives, waiting for someone brave enough to read them. The question isn't just what secrets were too dangerous to be known. It's why the showrunners never told you. Why they let you believe the Salvatores were just two brothers fighting for love. Why they hid the stone basin, the basement door, the woman in the walls. Was it to keep the story simple? Or was it because some truths are too dark for even the most dedicated fans to handle? The archives are open now. The keys are found. The entries are decoded. Are you ready to read them? The Salvatore Archives map of Mystic Falls' tunnels isn't just a guide to hidden paths. It's a battle plan. It's a battle plan. Scrawled in the margins of Marco Salvatore's 1750 drawing are dates and names. 1795, Witch Traveller. 1820, Lockwood Wolf Uprising. Blood Moon Ritual. Gone wrong. Each marking a conflict the family fought in silence, far from the town's cheerful festivals and church sermons. These weren't grand wars with flags and armies. They were wars of whispers, of witches casting spells in the woods, of travelers sneaking through tunnels, of wolves howling under blood moons. And at the Salvatores, they weren't just observers, they were players. Sometimes peacemakers, sometimes enforcers, always bound by the family's pact to keep the balance. But balance, as their journals reveal, came with a brutal cost. Take the 1795 Witch Traveller clash. The travellers, still angry over Michael Salvatore's broken deal he'd stopped sending pure vampire blood after Clara's death, had returned to Mystic Falls to reclaim the Celtic stone. The town's witches, led by Morrigan's daughter, Bridget II, vowed to stop them, fearing the stone's removal would unleash the old things in the woods. The Salvatores were caught in the middle. Michael's journal, dated September 12, 1795, lays out the choice. Bridget says, "We owe the witches. They warded our basement door." The travellers say, "We owe them. Our bloodline survives because of their deal. I choose the witches. Not for loyalty, for the town. If the travellers take the stone, the wolves will come back. The basin will starve. We can't let that happen." That night, the Salvatores arm themselves with silver knives for travellers who fear silver, and Rune carve stakes for the old things should they wake. They met the travellers in the tunnels under the town square, fighting in darkness so thick they could only hear the clash of metal and the travellers' angry chants. By dawn, the travellers were gone, fleeing to the mountains. But 3 Salvatores lay dead. And Bridget II? She never trusted the Salvatores again. "You fight for the basin, not the town," she wrote in a letter to Michael. One day, the basin will eat you whole. A generation later, in 1820, the Salvatores faced a different threat, the Lockwood Wolf Uprising. Tyler Lockwood's great-great-grandfather, Elias, had lost control of his wolf form during a full moon, killing 2 farmers. The town's leaders wanted to execute him, but the Lockwoods begged the Salvatores for help. They knew the Salvatores had connections to witches who could suppress the wolf gene. Stefan's great-uncle, Luca Salvatore, took charge. His diary entry from March 5, 1820 is blunt. We didn't help the Lockwoods out of kindness. We helped them because a dead wolf is a martyr. A live wolf is a favor. The Lockwoods control the town's grain. We need their grain to feed the basin. So we found a witch mara from the Bennett line to cast a suppression spell on Elias. She asked for something in return, a shard of the Celtic stone. We gave it to her. Father would have called it a betrayal. I call it survival. The spell worked. Elias never turned again. But the Bennett witch's price had a cost. The stone shard, when combined with Bennett magic, weakened the town's wards. That year, 3 vampires slipped into Mystic Falls, the first in decades. The Salvatores hunted them down, but Luca's diary admits the truth. We opened the door. The vampires are our fault. The 1840 Blood Moon ritual was the Salvatore's greatest failure, and the one that tilted Mystic Falls' mystical balance forever. Every 50 years, the founding families gathered to recharge the Celtic stone's wards, each contributing a gift of their bloodline's power. The Gilberts gave doppelgänger blood they'd tracked a distant ancestor, Silas's first doppelgänger, to a farm in Virginia. The Lockwoods gave wolf blood. The Fells gave witch hunters silver. The Salvatores were supposed to give basin-fed blood from the stone basin, charged with the family's magic. But that year, the basin was low. The Salvatores had missed a moon's feeding, too busy hunting a vampire who'd killed a local girl. Desperate, Stefan's grandfather, Alessandro Salvatore, made a choice. He used his own daughter's blood. 16-year-old Elena Salvatore, the same name as the future doppelgänger, instead of the basins. The ritual backfired. The stone absorbed the girl's blood, but her youth and innocence twisted the wards, the old things. In the woods woke for a night, killing 5 people before the witches could relock them away. And the basin, it began to hunger for younger blood. Alessandro's journal, found under his bed after he hanged himself, is a confession. I killed my daughter to save the town. Now the town will pay. The basin wants more. It always wants more. These conflicts weren't just footnotes. They shaped Mystic Falls' supernatural landscape. The Salvatores' choice to side with witches in 1795 drove travelers to ally with vampires decades later, creating the enemy the town would fight in the show. Their deal with the Bennetts in 1820 weakened the wards, letting vampires in and making the 1864 hunt inevitable. Their betrayal of the ritual in 1840 made the basin hungrier, forcing future Salvatores like Giuseppe to hunt vampires for pure blood, to feed it. The family's balance was never balance. It was a cycle: fix one problem, create 2 more. The true cost? Mystic Falls magic became fragile. Witches lost trust in the founding families. Wolves hid their gene in shame. Vampires saw the town as a target. And the Salvatores became prisoners of their own legacy. Every conflict, every choice, every sacrifice bound them tighter to the town, until Stefan and Damon were born into a family that didn't just live in Mystic Falls. It owed Mystic Falls. When Stefan first met Elena in 2009, he didn't know about the 1795 clash, or the 1820 deal, or the 1840 ritual. He didn't know his family's wars had paved the way for his own. But the town knew. The basin in the basement knew. And when the vampires came, when the doppelgangers returned, when the witches fought to reclaim their power, all of it was just the latest chapter in the Salvatores' forgotten conflicts. The family didn't just live through Mystic Falls history, they made it. And the price of that making? It's written in blood, in the Salvatore's blood, in the witch's blood, in the town's blood. A price that Stefan and Damon would finally pay decades later when the cycle of secrets and sacrifice caught up to them.